lot about water art and water art photography. So basically, what do you mean by this? It's splash. It's splash, and this comes under the fine art section. So fine art photography is one field in which I did learn through JJ School of Art. So this was one of the topic in which we used to go in through, and basically, what are we going to do today is what I'm going to share with you quickly. Uh, so, first, we are going to see the tools of the trades, the cameras, the lenses, the tripods, what all we are going to need for this, the light and the lighting setup, the camera, camera setup, and finally, we'll have a look at the compilation of water art, splash, fine arts, photography shots. That's what you're going to be seeing in today. So, my whole journey of splash photography or water art started off with the history of photography being taught to us in JJ School of Arts, in which this was one of the image that our faculty did show to us, saying that this was a shot done on a camera that had a 5 inch by 4 inch plate, negative base plate in it, and this took 27 shots. So every time they used to fail in the shots, on the left hand side you can see of the screen all the failed shots in which probably he was not ready, the cat was thrown early, the water was thrown early, the um, Salvador Dali jumped up late, all those things. And after 27 shots, the 28th shot, according to them, went in perfect, and that's what they wanted, and that was the way. And the shot really intrigued me. The way the water has flown, the water throw, the three cats up in the air, Mr. Salvador Dali himself up in the air, the chair up in the air, and I used to always think like, oh my god, this is like stunning. And during the days of the negatives, unless and until the negative was not developed, you did not know what you had shot. So I was just wondering that, oh my god, how would have they done this? And all that thought process used to go on. And then came in a opportunity in which I had to shoot for a client who was to make baby milk, baby soap, for use by using milk. So this milk which is there, okay, so he had a thought in his mind that, sir, mujhe aisa shot chahiye, I want a kind of shot in which the ink, the drop which is falling of the milk and you're getting the milk crown. So I said that, okay, okay, fine, fine. So let's try. And then I started searching, I started researching on this. And then I think probably after like 2 3 400 takes, we did the final shot. And I think I did a decent job. The client liked it, he used the shot, but then to some or the other back of the mind, it always used to be like 300 400 500 shots, and still you're not being able to get the final this thing. So that was the whole thing. By the way, friends, please do not share any question and answers right now itself. All the question and answers which are there, I'll be taking them when I'll tell you the time. That's the time when you need to put in your question and answers. So basically, while doing anything, there has to be an outcome. There has to be some tangible outcome. So, what are the things that is going to be? So, after doing this session, we'll be able to better understand the settings, the creativity, the skill, and self exploration through shooting practices. The photographers will be learning to explore more on the fundamentals of digital imaging, rules of photography, methods with the help of theory and practical. Okay, we'll be going in through theory, and then post that I wish that all of you should shoot some pictures and do post them to me so I could review them and I could give you my feedback on it. Photographers can explore color with water as a fluid element as one of the most important aspect of depicting fine arts photography. So let's come down to the tools of the trades. What are the tools that we may need to do all this photography, especially the water art? So the first and the foremost thing is you will need a digital camera. You will need a digital camera, a digital SLR, or a mirrorless camera. That's the first and foremost important thing when you want to do photography of this kind of a thing. And personally, I've used my 1DX Mark III, I've used my USR, and I've also used my 5D Mark IV. So this is a journey in which I've gone in through, and I've done all these pictures by using all this thing. Then we need lenses. So what are the lenses that I've been using? I've been using the 100 micro, 100 macro, the 70-200 lens, and the 90 tilt shift lens. So these are the things that normally I use, and whenever I've used, I've shared that data with you all. Okay. uh, Crop sensor cameras also can be used, no doubt about it. But the lens that you're going to use should be a tele lens, either 55-250 or a 70-300. Now, there is a reason for me to tell you to use these tele lenses. Whenever you're going to do these splash shots, the distance at which the water can spill, okay, sometimes it's insane that water can travel up in for a long distance, and it can come in into your camera or your lens, and that's the worst thing that can happen to you. So it's better that you stay away from this whole thing. Then you can have video lights, that is the tungsten lights, as a light source, or you can have digital lights, the LED panels which are there. You can use them too as your light source. So it all depends upon what light source is available to you right now. You could do it right now itself, or post the the lockdown is through, you can even do it that time. You will need glass bowls of different sizes. You will need glasses of different sizes. And why am I telling this? There is a reason to it. The reason is, the moment you splash it into the water is going to come out, and glass behaves in a different way. The bowl will behave in a different way. The way the water splashes out, and it will create some different beautiful patterns. And that's what here we are to see all these things. The best way to shoot, it's just not the water which can be splashed around. You can use some color to it, you can add color to it, you can add a dash of color, you can add more color, you can add less color, you can add one color, you can add two color, you can add more colors also. The only big tip and the most important clue which I'm giving to you is, whenever you pour water, okay, let the water sit there for at least 2 odd minutes. The moment you have taken water in that glass or in that bowl, do not put these transparent watercolors. The moment you put in that color will start mixing in, and you will get a homogeneous mixture of that colored liquid. Whether you don't want it, sometimes you need some different shades. In the pictures you will see that you will have water in it, you will have the green color in it, the blue color in it, the yellow color in it. So at one given point of time, dropping ink with three different droppers at one given point of time, and then doing the splash. So the most important thing in doing all these activity is, you need to have an assistant who has a fantastic tuning on with you, because you are going to be depending upon him to do the throw. You are going to depend upon him on doing the blast. You are going to depend upon him putting the water in the glasses, letting it stay for that much time. You're going to depend to him on him pouring the transparent watercolors into it. These transparent colors are a bit costly initially to begin on with. You could even go in with normal fountain pen inks. I know fountain pen are outdated and no more people use it, but still you can get these pens in any general what you can say stationery shops. And you can also get the water droppers that you can take, and you can use it as ink droppers, and you can get it in medicals too. These are available in medical shops too. You will need water, and you need plenty of water. So keep stock of water also ready when you're doing this, and do it in a section in which you are very sure that it can be cleaned up, and it can be cleaned up easily because plenty of water will spill out also. Then you will need some lemons, some tomatoes, crazy balls, cut fruits. Splash can be done with everything and anything. For me, the journey had started off with coins, okay, and then I thought that let's do it with some fruits. Let's do it with something else. Let's do it with this. Let's do it with an ice cube, and that's how the journey had started off. The final outcome of this shoot is going to be your response time of shooting. That's going to get better. Your right and decisive movement of pressing the shutter is going to get better and better as time will proceed. And trust me, if you're thinking that the results which I'm going to show you are like the first shot, you're going to get these kind of results. Sorry, it will take a lot of practice, it will take a lot of time for you to achieve this kind of results, but surely you need to practice, and the more you practice, the more the better shots you are going to get. Your shooting skills will be enhanced with this learning, so you will get how and what are the techniques that you need to do and get it. First and foremost is you'll also need a good camera tripod, a tripod which can hold your camera, and you can rest assured that whatever shot you have fixed, because this is neither the glass bowl is going to shift or neither the distance between you and the object is going to shift. So keeping the camera on a tripod is the best idea. Shooting handheld, it becomes a wee bit difficult. If you have a good tripod, please do use a good tripod to hold this in place. Now let's see the camera and the setup in your camera for water art, because setting up your camera for a water art is different to setting up your camera for any other purpose. So the first is putting your camera on the tripod, your white balance to be set for tungsten if you're using continuous light source. Normally, the light source that we use is the tungsten 1000 watt bulbs, the 1000 watt tungsten tubes is what we use, or we use LED lights, light LED light panels. So set your white balance according to that. And nowadays, you can do it more comfortably and peacefully. You can set your camera to high burst mode. And why is it so? Because you're shooting on continuous light source, so you can do this. But you will say, sir, I do have flash with me, so can I use a flash gun? Yes, you can definitely use a flash gun, but remember, with a flash gun you will get one shot at one given point of time, and then clean up the whole set and taken the second shot. Again, if your assistant misses out, you miss out, clean up the shot, take the third shot. So I personally like to put in continuous light source. You're able to work much peacefully. Set your ISO to 800 or 1600. Why is that so? So you can get faster shutter speeds, because now you need to freeze that frame. Okay, by doing that burst shot, you are able to get the lemon which is falling into the water and splashing. You can get with that burst, you can get that, and you can get that easily. So using a faster ISO, so there are two things when you do go into a faster ISO mode. The first thing is high ISO noise reduction. You have to put it on, so any pictures that is going to become grainy will it will just smoothen out that thing. Second is an aperture of 5.6 to 8 depending upon the intensity of light that's needed. So that's what you will need. Focusing, I normally prefer doing focusing to one shot, okay, and keeping it then and there itself. And normally, once the focusing is achieved, I normally switch it on to the manual mode. I no more touch it. Why is it so? Because the bowl is going to be steady at that place, and the splash is going to happen over there itself. So that distance which is there, that's already fixed, and I just need to, my assistant just needs to drop in that lemon into it. Metering, usually I prefer keeping it on center weighted or spot metering. Why is it so? Because that's where the main action is going to happen, and for different things, different way. If you're going to be shooting with white backdrop, it will be different. If you're going to shoot it with white backdrop, it will be different. I'll show you both the setup shots. So the item which you're going to do, the activity that you're going to do, okay, so that is, you should be rest assured end of the whole session. High speed noise reduction option should be put on to, that is high ISO noise reduction should be put on. That's what we said. Now, we normally categorize photographers into two different categories. One who are into the beginning stage of it, okay, they can keep their camera in program mode. Keeping the camera in the program mode, you just need to adjust one thing, that's your ISO, which you have already done. Keeping it in the program mode, the shutter speed and the aperture automatically, depending upon the intensity of light, it is going to fix up on its own, and it's going to give you the proper reading. So be rest assured. Now the photographers who are already advanced, who know the techniques, who know everything, can be using the manual mode. I rather call it as the magic mode, because that's where all the magic starts happening. Trust me, the magic starts happening with your manual mode. Now let's see the light and the lighting setup. How do you do that? So that's the setup which I put in, and I've called in as the COVID-19 setup, because over here in my house itself I put up the setup, because normally you shoot and you don't need a setup shot because you know what you're going to do, and it's just to show you all. I did the setup and shot these pictures. So you'll need props, the glass bowl you can see, the water kept on the sides, and the light. Now with the bright backdrop, I've put the light on the wall, or you can have any white color surface on which you're going to put in the lights. So any transparent object, the moment it comes to a transparent bowl, transparent water, something transparent, you're not supposed to light it up from the front end. You're supposed to give backlighting to it. So you have lit up the background and you have not lit up the product. So that's the first rule of it. So that's the first rule of getting these kind of brilliant images. And that on the top, you're seeing on the glass bowl, you're seeing I've lit up the background. You're seeing everything through the back, but now you're also seeing my tube light. So when you're going to be shooting in, you're going to be shooting in at a much more higher shutter speed, so that tube light also will disappear, and only the backlight which is there, which is much more powerful, is the only thing which is going to be there. So these shots that you're going to be seeing, I've shot it with my 5D Mark IV. I put in my EF 7200 2.8 IS3 version USM lens. The shutter speed which I'd kept over here with the white backdrop shoot that you're going to be seeing is at 1/500th of a second. The aperture is at f8, and the ISO is at 800. So that's one of the shot which was there. So people say that, what do you feel beautiful about it? Now there are shapes, there are things that we start seeing in as an art form. This I named it in my this thing as a shark. So the shark has opened up its mouth. It all depends upon your state of mind at that very moment when you see the picture, and you feel it's something different. Every time you see a picture, it'll start behaving in a different way to you. You can see differently. So these shots which are there, they are in glasses. So that's the splash in with the glass. So this has again given a beautiful different shape, and the water has risen in as like a column, and on top it has given you that blast. Okay. The second shot, the ink is bit more, and we have dropped in a green colored lime into it, and you're seeing the dark green lime in the glass, and you're seeing the glass itself and the splash which has happened and which has gone out of the glass. Now instead of one glass, we have taken three glasses. Okay, we have kept some water residue back on the platform, and we have done this. So now the whole crux of this shoot is you have done the lighting, you have done the focusing, you are ready to shoot, and now it's depending upon your assistant. You are going to get the pictures. Your assistant is the guy who can make or break your pictures. I always say the assistant has to be very particular about your count, and this whole exercise which is there is depending upon your assistant. And the best part is when we do this, now the picture on your right hand side, one of the faculties that say, sir, if like 20 people are shooting, uh, each one will get the same shot. And I said, sir, it's not possible. Even if there are 100 people shooting, then also everybody is going to get some or the other difference in that shot. And we proved it that day that each one got a different shot and a beautiful shot. Again, we had a setup of three glasses. So in this endeavor, we have sacrificed in each and every shoot a few glasses. And I shoot typically 6 to 10 glasses is what we break. And it's always, but end of the day, we all enjoy it. Here you are seeing two different colors in it. You are seeing a magenta color, you are seeing blue color, and on the top you are seeing magenta and blue, both droplets flying off. In this, it was again a single color, that's dark brown color we had put in, and you're seeing it as a different pattern. Now we go in with the COVID setup too. Okay, this is a beautiful thing that you can do, and that is keeping the background black, making the background very dark. And how is it possible? That is, you need to put the light right now only and only on your product. But the moment you're going to light up the splash area, you're going to light up the bowl, breaking all the rules of shooting something that is transparent. Now you are lighting it up from behind. But doing this light up, your background is going to go dark. But now you have to be careful about the light not coming into your camera. So this is very crucial that you have a, what you can say, a cutter sort of a thing that is placed in between the light setup and the photographer. So this all is going to make all the difference. So on your left hand side and right hand side, you will see there are black cutters which have been put up. And this light, normally it's not going to be kept this way. It's going to go away slightly far. So just to make the shot that, okay, this is the way you have backlit. So background automatically is going to go dark because you're going to be shooting at very high shutter speed. Any light spillage, which is also going to happen on the background, is not going to be so conspicuous on your main shot. So in this, I've used the Canon 1DX Mark III with the EF 7200 lens, 2.8 L lens, and the shutter speed which I'd used is 1/2500th of a second, and the aperture is at f8, ISO is at 3200. Okay, now each and every drop of it, this we have called it as the open dragon. And you'll see the lemon also has that green color which is flowing with the water outside. That green color water is there around the lemon. And on the second side, the water which is there, it's blue and brown color which is flowing out. That's the most crucial part of it. That is, put the water in the bowl, let it rest for like couple of minutes. The assistant comes in, gets ready, you are ready, focused and ready. He pours in green color on one side, the blue and the brown color on the other side, and then drops the lemon. And you have to be shooting that shot. So that's the crux of it. That's the trick behind it. Now you're seeing on one side, you have got the yellow, on one side, you have got the red, and the last end of it, you have got the green in it. So one shot itself, but you have got multiple colors. And the glass bowl right now did not have any color, water, anything balance in it, because this lemon was just not dropped, it was banged in by the assistant. Okay, so with that bang, this kind of a big splash, an umbrella splash happened, and you've got a much more different shot. Okay, and the glass bowl which was there, that became white. So if you want, you can keep the glass bowl. If you don't want, you can even chop off the glass bowl. And you're seeing the bottom portion, we had kept a white area. So you are getting that white, what you can say, rim light on the bottom of that red portion also. So that is something beautiful. Now this was green and yellow combination, and you are seeing it as it has almost created a square pattern, which is like not very common thing which can happen to this kind of thing, but we did get that square pattern. This is like a master shot, what we call it in as, because we did not have just one bowl of water, we had two bowl of water. One had the yellow and the red in it. The second had the green, the purple, and the blue in it. So now totally five inks. In one we have dropped a peach, and the second one we have dropped a lemon. Okay, so you are seeing drama, you are seeing intrigue, you are seeing so much of action into it, that this picture, if it's there in front of you, you can probably see it for much longer time. Again, you're seeing green in it, you're seeing blue in it, all the blast of colors which are there. And again, each and every drop which has gone up in the air, you're seeing each and every drop crystal clear and sharp. Blue, yellow, green, three colors, two lemons banged into it, into the bowl. So there are chances this lemon doesn't fall in, the timing can get off, anything can happen. Be ready for all these eventualities. Now, in the green bowl, we had the tomato coming in, and in the red bowl, we had the lemon coming in. And you're seeing both have given their own unique, different pattern and a different flow. In this, it was a beautiful shot. One tomato went into the edge of the bowl and it hit the bowl, and the bowl is about to topple down. And the second one, the water has already risen up to a very good height. Okay, so now this is going to happen, and that's the beauty of the 1D Mark III in the live view mode. By the way, I normally prefer shooting with the live view mode on with my 1D X Mark III. That's the reason. There's a big reason to it. Main thing is I can view each and every shot, and second thing is I can get the number of frames, which is much more than normally what I would have seen in from my viewfinder. And that's the lemon which has gone in and coming out, and you have got a beautiful pattern into it. The second frame, again, the lemon has come down and a different, again, pattern is formed. Here, this I say the green ballerina. Okay, I've named this picture as the green ballerina. Simple. We had the red tomato being put into a bowl which had green color, and this one had the yellow color. The yellow color, as if the embrace is going to happen, you're getting that kind of a thing. And the second one is the ballerina dancing with the hands up. That's the thing, and the flow which is there on the dress. So that's how I'd named it. This shot was again taken on with three different color inks. You're seeing there is green in it, there's yellow in it, and there's blue in it. And the absolute yellow one, which was there, has failed. We had a plum in it and it failed, and the water fell down. Okay, the tomato one gave us a beautiful picture. By the way, these kind of shots are also taken by ad agencies for which they advertise the stuff. The extra blacks which are there, the extra, what I can say, the drops which are there on the screen, they remove it off, and only the splash which is needed, only that much is kept. I always used to wonder that the milk shot which I taken, that can be taken in a much better way. And nowadays you have started getting in the market special solenoid operated water droplet, controlled water droplets, in which you can control with apps on your mobile phone the camera exposure, the flash duration, the flash exposure, number of drops that you want, how many, after how many seconds it should repeat. Okay. And if you want two drops, how much how much is the gap between two drops. Now you'll say, what is the difference between having one drop, two drop? What image difference will it make? Definitely you will see lot of difference. It does make a lot of difference. By the way, all these shots which you're going to be seeing in this series have been shot with the USR with a 100 mm micro lens, 100 mm macro lens. The shutter speed, it's at 1 to 50th of a second. Aperture is at f16, and ISO it is at 1/100th of a second. It's with the flashlight, the 600 EX-RT2 flash. I've used the basic flash, and the water is dropped in with that dropper into the glass. So these are the kind of shots that you can get. It looks beautiful. This picture is with 90 tilt shift lens, 200th of a second, f22, ISO is 100. That's the kind of shot. That's with green light, and second side you have kept a yellow light, one drop falling into the water and the second one coming and falling on top of it. So what happens, that one drop is gone into the water, and now it's creating that column, and on that column now the water is blasted, and now that blast which is there with that second one coming and putting its full force on it, that creates that impact, and you're getting that different pattern in it now. So that creates a beautiful image. This is water mixed with milk, and also has some portion of gore gum. That's gum which normally is used to thicken up the, what you can say, water splash, or the, what you can say, the milk in it. If you're having milk, if you mix the gore gum, it becomes thick. So you had one drop falling into it and the second one blasting on top of it very fast. So you have got that spill, and that's going around in that circle. This is one drop and the second drop falling in. You have lit up the background, the lighting is coming from the back, so you're seeing all the highlights and the ripples in the water, and that's how you've got this shot. This is something which always I used to wish, and now it's gone to a different level in which you can get these kind of amazing shots with controlled water drops. This is one drop, two drop, and the third drop also. So this has created almost an impression of a dancer, a person with a beautiful, what I can say, dress onto her, and the dress is flowing up in the air, and the dancer is in her own, what you can say, in her own mood, dancing away.